Look at these. These are cattails. Have you ever seen these? They're really fun. They have these heads on them up here that look like a brown hot dog. They're really fun. I like them a lot. But they grow in a marsh environment. Quite often they'll be kind of at the side of a pond or maybe even a little bit into the pond. They need a lot of water. Now it turns out that quite often in a marsh, the soil doesn't have a lot of nutrients. Now, do you remember that big word? Nutrients are those things that plants need to be able to grow. Of course, they need the sunlight and the water, but they also need nutrients that they pull out of the soil through their roots. Well, when these soils don't have all of the nutrients that these cattails need, these cattails are specially adapted to be able to pull nutrients out of the water. It's kind of different. Here are some really fun marsh plants. Do you know what those are? Those are water lilies. Aren't they fun? They're just like little boats floating. And actually, they're not totally floating. They have stems down under the water that go down, and they have roots that go down in that soil down at the bottom of the water. And these water lilies can grow flowers, and then the flowers will turn into a seed pod. And that seed pod's full of little lily seeds, these water lilies, and the seed pod can float. So after the flower blooms and it makes a seed pod, it can fall off into the water, go down the river, and that's one way that these seeds can travel. Then they can go plant themselves somewhere else, make more water lilies grow. What is this? Are we on a different planet or what? This is a marsh plant. This is called sundew. This plant likes lots of sun and lots of water. But this plant doesn't always find the nutrients that it needs right in the soil because it grows in these marshes where there's a lot of water, and so it has a special way to get the nutrients it needs. You see all these little hairs? Well, little flies, little bugs come, and they fly there, and this curls up over that bug. And this plant actually eats bugs. It doesn't chew them up with teeth. It just closes over them, stays closed for a long time, and it actually dissolves that bug and gets nutrients into the plant. Is that an amazing adaptation or what? It is so amazing to me. Here's another one. This is a Venus flytrap. Now, Venus flytraps don't live in quite a wet environments. This sundew plant needs a lot of moisture. They can almost be right in the water. The Venus flytrap needs a lot of water, but maybe not quite as much as the sundew. But it also can live somewhere where the soil doesn't have as many nutrients because it also catches bugs. There are little hairs in here, and when the fly or the bug comes and they hit one of those hairs, it will snap closed. And it snaps very quickly, so it can actually catch a flying insect. This is just so amazing. Well, here is an exciting picture. Look at these plants. These are papyrus plants. They grow in a marsh environment. Here I have a dwarf papyrus plant. Now, a dwarf plant is a small version of the big plant. This is a fun little dwarf papyrus plant that I could keep in the house. And if you notice, around the bottom, I have sand and then rocks. And then I have it filled in with water because this plant is specially adapted for a marsh environment. So it needs lots and lots of water. I call this a little water garden. It's really fun. Now, this other plant needs quite a bit of water. It could live on the edge of a marsh, but it doesn't stand in the water like the papyrus does. So I have it in a separate part, and I water it less. And this one, I always make sure I keep water in there so that they can both be happy plants and grow and be beautiful, and I can enjoy them.